remaining to me, I'll tell you what Swami Vivekananda did with this magnificent philosophy. What he did with this was beyond conformity. Tremendous. What he did was, sort of revolutionary. All these years, this philosophy had been here. Vedanta was with us for thousands of years. And monks, sannyasis, they were expected to teach religion and go from door to door and beg for their food, and they would go around teaching religion. That's all that was expected of monks. What Swami Vivekananda said was, Shiva Jnane Jiva Seva, worship God in all living beings through service. After all, what God are you seeking? The God which is within all human beings. The totality of all human souls is the only God I know, Swami Vivekananda says. And how do you worship that God? You can worship God in temples, in churches and mosques, but you can also best worship God, he says, to the poor with economic aid, to the sick with medical aid and health care, to the ignorant with education. It is not social service. It is spiritual practice. You are literally, in a most fundamental sense, you are actually worshiping God. God has appeared to you in the form of the needy person, in the form of the sick person, in the form of the ignorant person. And so he said, monks should practice this kind of spiritual practice. And see the tremendous change that has come. When the first Ramakrishna Mission monks started a hospital in Hardwar, other monks used to call them bhangi sadhus, sweepers. Why? Because these people go and clean the dirt of patients, and they wipe the urine and the stool and clean the blood and pus and treat the patient. It's a bhangi sadhu hai. Kya hai ye? And today, any one of you, everywhere in India, whenever you come across an ashram, any kind of religious institution, not just Ramakrishna Mission, on a totality, what do you say? What do these people do for society? Don't you ask? Isn't that a question in your mind? It is in everybody's minds. See the change in mindset that has come. Spirituality is deeply connected with service. Another great change which Swami Vivekananda brought about. According to him, there is no difference between the spiritual and the secular. No difference henceforth between the spiritual and the secular, said Sister Nivedita, one of the greatest disciples of Swami Vivekananda. And what it means is, if the same consciousness is manifesting through all of us, why should we say that one set of activities in a temple or a church or a mosque is religious? What about the school? What about the factory? What about the household, the workplace? All of them can be places for spiritual practice. And you can have spirituality through art, through music, through science. In fact, it will interest you to know that last year, the highest science award given by the government of India, the Bhatnagar, Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Award, was awarded to a monk, a mathematician of the Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda University, and he's a pure mathematician. He got this Bhatnagar Award from the government of India for his work in pure mathematics, in topology. When the Times of India asked him, he's very shy, he's running around and the reporters started chasing him, So I said, you give an interview, then they'll stop chasing you. And they asked him, how do you reconcile the two, being a monk and being a mathematician? And he said, it's not contradictory for me. Being a monk, mathematics is my spiritual practice. So, the sacred and the secular are not different. We can all spiritualize our lives. The implication is, spirituality is for everybody, not just for monks or sadhakas. It's for all. You convert your daily life into spiritual practice and worship the living God in front of you. That's what Swami Vivekananda taught. Thank you.